What's going on, guys? Patrick here, bringing you a brand new video today. We've got another killer video for you guys full of information. Today, I want to be talking to you guys about a potential parabolic move that's coming for Bitcoin very soon. We're also going to be covering Ethereum Classic as well as tons of other news that went on in the cryptocurrency space. But guys, before we get started with that, if you guys are interested in making money trading cryptocurrencies, make sure you check out the first link in the description or the first link in the comments for the cryptocurrency trade alert group. I post every single one of the trades that brought me to a six-figure portfolio in this group. So if you're a complete beginner, if you don't have time to do technical analysis or you don't know how to do technical analysis, you can copy my exact trades. It takes 2 to 3 minutes to set up, and after that, profits are taken automatically for you. So everything becomes very passive. We have altcoin trades, we have leverage trades, and we have the #1 community in the cryptocurrency space full of people ready and able to answer your questions 24/7. You also get direct access to myself and everything that I'm doing in there as well. If you guys are interested, still holiday sale, few coupon codes left, 80% off your first month. So your first month is only $10, which is the biggest sale we've ever done, and I'm only keeping it open as long as we have coupons. So if you click the link and it works, congratulations, there's still spots available. But enough about that, let's dive into some Bitcoin technical analysis. First things first, if you guys haven't checked out the last video, I did talk about a trade that we were in over here with cross leverage that did 1,000% profit. Now, I saw a few different people out there talk about their trades as well. I'm pretty sure as of right now, within the last week or so, we definitely have the most profitable trade, especially with the amount obviously that was used for myself, but to each person that's going to be a little bit different. But that was a huge trade, and again, I'm very happy with how that's going. Now, if we zoom in on the 4-hour and we take a look a little bit at what I talked about in the previous video, again, if you haven't checked that out, I highly recommend you go do so. But in terms of technicals, we're still waiting for a few areas to be met, at least for myself, but I want to give you guys sort of what I'm looking at. So on the 4-hourly right now, again, this acted as strong support we saw on the EMA ribbon. First things first, we've been trading above it ever since we had a 2nd of January, so pretty much the start of 2020, we have been trading above it, which is an overall bullish pattern. Now, what I would like to see is another entrance in here, maybe, right, come back into the EMA ribbon, similar to what we saw here, to confirm this as, again, very strong support, and that we are going to be continuing on a bullish trend. Something like this to me is very bullish. When we come in, we obviously bounce off the support and then we continue on our way up. That's a good sign that the strength is still there and that we are going to continue to the upside. That's something that I do want to see happen. And from there, I'm still targeting, like I mentioned in the last video, somewhere between $9,100 and $9,300 in this area to potentially catch a short again. What that's looking like right now, if everything plays out 100% the way I want it to, is going to look something like this, right? Then we come right back up into the 9,100, 9,300, and then we'll be able to catch a short from there as well. And it should look very nice, and some good profits would be able to be made. That tied in with the indicators that are still showing signs, they're still at the higher levels, and they still show signs that we could be seeing a little bit of a cool off coming in pretty soon. That to me is a pretty comfortable statement. Now, I told you guys I'm going to update you guys if anything changes, but to me right now, the biggest opportunity is either going to be catching a short from $9,300 to $9,100 range, or, and again, this is going to depend on when we actually get there and see how things look. If we do make this level pretty easy and we do look like we're going to be breaking above, then we could even see Bitcoin head up to the $10,000 level, which is somewhere right around here. We can see Bitcoin head up into there relatively easy. Again, somewhere around over here. That's sort of what it would look like. So it's going to depend situational on what Bitcoin looks like at that time. And again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys exactly what's going to happen because it's very difficult to know, especially beforehand. So the best thing that you can do, and this is a mistake I see a lot of people make, especially beginners, even people who make videos out there, everybody wants to catch the pretty trade, right? Catching this trade that was $1,000 profit was, or 1,000% profit, sorry, 10x, way more than $1,000 in profit, was a very pretty trade, right? On BitMEX or Bybit or whatever you're using, it looked really cool to have 1,000% or 500% or whatever it was that you were up. It looked really pretty. However, the best thing you can do is not try to catch a long over here and try to ride it all the way until the next bull run, because if we look back historically, every single bull run had its ups and it had its pullbacks. So that allows a lot of opportunities for us to profit on both longs and shorts, and long again and short again. We might not have the biggest percent gain in one single trade, but at the end of the day, we're going to be making more money. And I'm pretty sure you guys are going to agree with me when I say I'm way more interested in making more money than I am having a prettier trade. It's easy to brag about a pretty trade. And again, every once in a while when I have a 500% profit trade, I might share it with you guys on here, right? But overall, I'm more focused on making more money. I want to make more Bitcoin than I am with the actual pretty trade. And that's sort of why I'm more interested in these short-term movements. And when we get to those areas, right, which is where I'm looking at, and I'm telling you guys straight up where I'm looking at for a potential next trade, when I get to these levels, then I want to share with you guys that either we're going to come back down, but if it looks simple and we break above, then by all means, I'm going to be looking to continue a long from there as well. It's going to be situational. I'm not here to try and look fancy like I predict everything. I'm more interested, again, in being right more often than I am being wrong. And so far, we have a very good track record. But that's pretty simply the 4 hourly. What we're looking at on the 1 hour, things look a little bit different. Not much. We're still above the EMA ribbon. But again, we did actually have a bounce. If we zoom in, we did actually have a very similar bounce where over here, we obviously found strong support, and then in here as well, we came up and we did find a strong support, not all the way at the bottom like we saw happen over here, but still we came into the EMA ribbon and saw a bounce from there. So overall, Bitcoin obviously is going to allow us for short-term scalps, long and shorts, but as long as it stays above the EMA ribbon, it does look, both on the 1 hour and the 4 hour, things look very bullish. And on the daily, again, it is way above it, and this is the only one that's causing me to look a little bit more skeptical as to what might happen in the short term, is that we are going to have either the EMA ribbon catch up, or we are going to have a pullback before a continuation, because, and you guys know, we usually don't stay this far apart from the EMA ribbon for a very long time. Very simply, you guys can see, look, we had a huge run up over here. It eventually came back down to touch it, right? It eventually, the EMA ribbon pulls it back in. Here we had a big drop, traded sideways for a bit, and then came right back up to touch it, both allowing the EMA ribbon to cool down, but also the price to come back and make it act, in this case, as a resistance. Again, same thing here, huge price move up, and then it did come back down eventually and cool off. So that's sort of what I'm looking at. Again, a very difficult time for Bitcoin, but if it stays above the EMA ribbon, especially on the daily, things could look very, very bullish. And as we near the halving, things are looking even more interesting. I've seen people talk about potentially the halving price move being, having happened already, right? Like, oh, everyone already predicted it, so everybody jumped into it. And although part of that might be true with what we're seeing happen naturally with this latest move, don't forget, the halving is not just a made-up thing, right? At the halving, something happens. The supply that's going to be put in gets cut in half. So that's not something that you can necessarily trade before. You can, obviously, the price can hype up. We saw a little bit of cool down before the halving, but that cut in half is going to happen, and that's where we could see the supply and demand shift. Obviously, less supply coming in, demand stays the same. Naturally, price is going to increase. So there is some truth maybe when it comes to people talking about the halving price already being put in. However, it doesn't factor in the fact that the halving itself has not happened. Right now, speaking of money, before we dive into the news, as most of you guys probably know, but if you don't already, I started a new YouTube channel where I talk about everything business and entrepreneurship related, nothing crypto related, because this channel is solely focused on crypto. I do have a video coming out next week on that channel talking about how to make your first $100 a day with affiliate marketing, which means not having your own product. It's very easy to get started. Obviously, making money in crypto is fun, but in order for you to not have to cash out your crypto or to even be able to fund more crypto, it's always nice to make money in US dollars as well. And over the last few years, I've built 4 different businesses and have scaled them very successfully. So I am sharing a little bit more of the business entrepreneur side in that channel. So check it out, link down below if you guys are interested as well. But back to crypto, Ethereum Classic has its price going ballistic. It racks up 30% gains. Altcoins have been weird the last few days, last few weeks. Have you guys noticed where we've had random altcoins pumping for different reasons? We talked about Da Vinci's theory in the last video. Again, check that out if you guys haven't seen that already. But randomly, we're seeing a lot of altcoins suddenly, some bigger name altcoins compared to usually it's like a 200 rank altcoin, a 300 rank altcoin that just gets a pump and dump. We're seeing some bigger name altcoins have some pretty big move. XRP did one the other day. Ethereum Classic's having one now. We saw Bitcoin Cash, which is something else I wanted to talk about, because there is the Bitcoin SV, the battle going on over there, which if we go on CoinMarketCap, let's take a look where it's at right now. Yeah, they were very close. Bitcoin Cash taking a little bit of a edge now, up 11%. Meanwhile, Bitcoin SV is down 6% after having its huge run up. But I did like this article and I wanted to share it with you guys because we need a name for the Bitcoin Cash flippening or scenario that's going on. And some of the ones over here kind of had me laughing. So I want to ask you guys, leave in the comments down below right now, what do you think we should call the potential flipping of Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV? If Bitcoin SV does overtake, or the battle that's going to go on over there, what are we going to call it? We've seen the flippening before. We need a new name for the battles of the Bitcoin Cash and the Bitcoin SV. So let me know your guys' thoughts. Be creative. Come up with something funny in the comments down below. And if there's some good ones, we're going to be throwing them in the next video when I upload on Monday. We're going to be throwing in some of your guys' suggestions. But if we look at the overall market cap, like I shared with you guys already a little bit, definitely a more green day in the market. And Ethereum Classic now up 41%. For a reason, I believe on Binance. Now this is, I don't know if it's a reason to be up 41%, but on Binance there is an Ethereum Classic to USDT leverage trading available, I believe up to 75x. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's the current, that's the news that came out around Ethereum Classic. But again, a 41% pump. Are we back in the days where, you know, a small piece of news, if something gets added to Coinbase, it's going to pump 100%? Are we back into those days? I wouldn't mind it. That was pretty fun back then, being able to make money, the print money basically with altcoins. But again, we're going to have to wait and see. But overall, by far a green day in the market. Several double-digit gainers. Ethereum Classic is up. Zcash still absolutely killing it, up 30%. We talked a little bit about that one in the last video. Lisk, Matic, Hypercash, Qtum, Ravencoin, so many double-digit gainers. VeChain, almost a double-digit gainer. And then if we scroll down, all the way down, because there's way more green than red, we do have some in the red, with Augur being the biggest loser, down 15% after a pretty nice pump though. So it's pretty hard to be upset in a majority of altcoins right now. A lot of them have had a pump the last few days, and some are either going to be cooling off, like Bitcoin Gold, right? For example, Bitcoin Gold we talked about in the last video as well. A huge pump, now starting to cool off a little bit, but no real surprise there. But a lot of altcoins are seeing some very, very nice gains in the last few days. If you are in altcoins, if you're in some of these winning altcoins, then congratulations to you. It looks pretty good. But before we end off the video, I want to talk to you guys now. Naturally, we're going to be going back to doing giveaways next week. So if you guys want to enter a chance to win, all you have to do, be subscribed, have your notifications turned on, leave a like on every single video, and leave tons of comments down below so you can increase your chance of winning. But it's time potentially to look at some altcoins that could be doing good, some slow, unheard of projects, or some, you know, projects that have been not so much in the limelight recently that could provide solid gains, if that's something you're into. Now again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Just two articles I pulled up. One from projects that did well in 2019, which is obviously you want to look at their track record, what they've done. That's the likes of Liquid Apps. We have Ream. We have Matic Network. We just saw it doing pretty well in terms of the biggest gainers. Now, Liquid Apps, the number one, it's an EOS scaling project. It came out of nowhere to garner industry-wide plaudits at 2019, as 2019 reached its crescendo. Now, a lot of ways due to the success of its DApp network, which demonstrated that it is possible to provision off-chain, sidechain scaling without compromising on decentralization. Now, if you're more in depth on if you know more about the technical side of crypto, this might be something that interests you. So if it is time, if that's something you guys are interested in, looking at smaller projects, maybe this is one that you want to keep your eyes out on as well, because I found it on the potential altcoins for 2020. Now, keep in mind, these are just two articles. You would definitely want to go in and do your own research on there as well. But some promising altcoins for 2020. We have AVA Labs or Ava Labs, don't know exactly how you pronounce that one. And we have Liquid Apps in here as well as Crypto Jobs List. We have Monolith, and get a lot of very, very small name ones. Again, could provide high returns if things work out well, but the smaller they are, the increased risk that they have as well, right? So definitely something to look into. Something interesting about Liquid Apps that I found out when I was looking into it myself was that it was the second year-long ICO for EOS. Obviously raised $4 billion. The second one raised just $2.8 million. Now that is Liquid Apps that I'm talking about, raised $2.8 million in their ICO, their year-long ICO that was happening as well. But again, if you guys are interested in that, go ahead, check it out. Let me know your guys' thoughts. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to try my best to answer them. But naturally, if we are getting into a more bullish time and we think altcoins are going to perform well, especially small altcoins, they could see significant gains. So it's time to balance our portfolio maybe and start looking at an opportunity to make money with altcoins as well, not just with Bitcoin trading, because that's great. I love it. Everybody loves Bitcoin trading. If you do it, you have to love it because it's very profitable as long as you're doing it correctly. If you're not doing it correctly, check out our group. It does pretty well. Shameless plug over there, right? But overall, maybe it's time for us to look at potential altcoins. That's something that I'm going to be keeping my eye out on as well. If I think altcoins are going to perform very well in the next year or so, I am going to start looking to scale into some higher market cap ones, some mid market cap ones, and then even some low market cap ones as well, right? So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below on that. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on Monday for another video.